kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Irish Hills of Michigan, the house that Penske built as the SCL Cup Series is live tonight in prime time. I want to thank everyone for joining me here live right here on SRM as we are currently in qualifying here this evening. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us here this evening right here on SRM as always. Currently looking there at the 60 machine, completing his second lap out there. Good for 38.87. Mike Peters, of course, in the 95 ride. Currently in that 6th place position. Very good qualifier here at Michigan. Knows how to get around this racetrack. So he now pulls it off the track, as that's going to be good for 8th place for Mike Peters right now. Isaac Love currently has the pole at a 38.67. Josh Terrett-Hill currently putting down a lap right now. Michael Matta, Todd Merkel out on the racetrack as well. You see there the 44, Nick Johnson, coming up to speed. On his out lap right now. Got to get up there towards the wall, get a big run out of 4. Just sweep it down to the bottom of the racetrack, takes it underneath that white line. Again, momentum, such a big part of this next-gen car is Nick Johnson. That's good for 20th place, lap 1 at a 39.10. Let's see if he can pick it up here just a little bit. Trevor Dalton also on the racetrack. Throwback to Rusty Wallace's Kodiak paint scheme from back in the day. That's a hot-looking ZL1 Camaro. Look, check out Josh Tarrant Hill. He's already claiming victory in this one as he's currently sitting in that 14th place position. Already got himself parked in victory lane, perhaps. You know, what's to come here tonight after we complete 80 laps of competition. It's Joshua Yarbrough now on the racetrack. In that 77 machine. And that's pretty much going to wrap up qualifying here this evening. That's going to put Brendan Coyer, Brendan M. Hilton McCaffrey, and Raymond Kimmel in that 783 machine, all going to start from the rear as this field now starts to grid here this evening for tonight's 80-lap event. Got to thank our sponsors, of course, as always. Colombo Properties 150 on board with us tonight. All the men and women behind the scenes that make this possible. And, you know, in times of, you know, where the economy is right now, everything else, you know, if you need an extra $500, easiest way to do that, if you know a vacant lot or a livable home, someone that's facing financial foreclosure, text the address to 586-622-0721. If Colombo Properties buys that home, they will mail you, no kidding, a $500 Visa gift card for all your help. It's simple, it's quick and easy, just takes 30 seconds of your time. All you have to do is text the address of the vacant home or foreclosed home to 586-622-0721. Colombo Properties looks forward to working with you, and you get to stack some cash in your pocket at the same time. Big shout out to them for jumping on board with us here this evening. Again, waiting for the rest of that grid to get set here on the field tonight. Drivers currently in their drivers meeting. While they're doing that, let's go ahead and take a look at the race info here this evening. As that should be coming up here any moment as that becomes available. There we go. Again, the house that Penske built, Michigan International Speedway, right here in the Irish Hills of, or considered in the area of Brooklyn, Michigan, if you want to get specific. Such a great facility. You never had a chance to come out here and watch a race at this racetrack. Definitely recommend you do so, as it produces some excellent multi-groove racing right around one of the biggest some people say it's a super speedway. Others say technically it's not. I consider it myself a super speedway just because of the different grooves that come up here that you're able to run throughout the course of this race. You know, track length 2 miles long. Ambient air temperature 92 degrees right now. That's going to currently put, you know, almost at that century mark. So grip, those right side tires could become a factor here, especially if you push it hard in the early going. Ambient air temperature 77 degrees, 47% relative humidity. That means these cars are going to be making all the horsepower. Partly cloudy skies and the wind virtually a non-factor, coming in at just 4 miles an hour. As this field gets set, racked, ready to rock and roll here this evening. You see that pace car start to roll off. What do you say we look at the qualifying results here tonight? Get that back to the top. Again, your pole sitter this evening, Isaac Love coming in with a 38.673. That's a blistering lap on his part here this evening. Excuse me. Justin Lewis comes in second. Pulling off third, Adam Lowe, Lilith Peters, Rookie of the Year, Kaji Cat Motorsports, going to start in that fourth place position. Outside of her, Max Caldwell in the 94. Barrett Flo resides in sixth. Austin Call, he's going to roll off in seventh. Jonathan Casper in eighth. Inside the top 10 in that ninth place position, the 52 of Melton. Mike Peters rounding out the top 10. Bob Fitzpatrick rolls off 11th. In 13th, Klaus Williams. 14th belongs to Matthew McKean. Josh Hill residing in that 14th place position. Rounding out your top 15, Michael Matta in the 16. Boy, he was electrifying last week at Daytona at times. Let's see if he can capitalize on some of that race momentum and bring it towards the front here tonight. Brandon Murray rolls off 16th. Todd Merkel Motors in the house this evening, 17th. And Jacob Hopkins rounds out the top 18 as they continue to pace around the field here. See if we can get some things to cooperate here. There we go. Ryan Farrell rolls off 19th. 20th belongs to Ronnie Hurst, the rookie. 21st, Trevor Dalton in the 27 ride. The 44 is rolling off 22nd. The driver, Nick Johnston. Joshua Yarbrough is going to roll 23rd here. Jeremy Flanagan, another Kaiji Cat Motorsports entry here tonight, going to roll off 24th. Look for the 72 to charge towards the front. Really knows how to get around this place. Mark Brown runs up the top 25. Mac Johnston, Eric Sauls, Jason Crimley, Johnny Lavers, and Brandon Corneroy rounds up your top 30. 31st belongs to Michael Caffrey. 32nd, Brandon Aim Hilton, and Randy Kimmel, the other rookie, rounds out the top 33. And that's going to do it for our starting lineup here tonight from the Irish Hills of Michigan. As those lights go out on the pace car, we're going to get racked, stacked, ready to rock and roll here tonight. Season is young. Everyone, all these teams right now feel like they have a chance. They can win it. Looking to capitalize here this evening with a strong performance, especially if Daytona did not go their way. Got 80 laps to bring it home here tonight. Again, those lights go out on the pace car. That field nicely racked and stacked here this evening. Again, Isaac F. Love. He's loving the view from the front of this piece. You see that pace car, that iRacing.com pace car is going to pull off the grid. As we approach the Geico restart zone for the initial drop of the green flag here, it's time to wipe the visor and buckle up the 5-point harness. Race fans, it's showtime from the Irish Hills of Michigan as we're green flag racing. Already look at the top side of the racetrack, starting to get hot and heavy as Lilith Peters giving Justin Lewis a bump, as that's really going to shovel him past on the high side perhaps, as he's now challenging the 62 of Love as they're side by side for the lead at the point. Lilith Peters currently resides in that second place position. I thought the 7 there at Lewis was really going to have a chance to challenge there for the lead, but just a great restart there by Isaac Love, just getting it done there, able to held off the 7 there on that initial start of the race. Taking a look there at Lilith Peters in the 1. Got some new vinyl, sporting some new colors on that race car here tonight in the Foxfire Foods ZL1 Camaro. Barrett Flo in the 92 ride right now, currently up 2 spots, holding on to that 4th place position. And Jonathan Casper in 5th right now, starting to put a beat on the back of Barrett Flo. Remember, the draft also important here at Michigan. Everyone's single filed right now through the early going. Long way to go in this one. You can see it almost looks like a conveyor belt already, as we're pretty well stretched out through the front of this piece. First side-by-side action or was side-by-side action, I should say. And caution on the racetrack already, as it looks like the 896 there already has pug face on the front of that Camaro. Is this lap 3, so early caution here on the racetrack. See if we can find out what went wrong here that may have involved Jeremy Flanagan. We go back to the SRM instant replay here. Someone off in the grass, looks like they just missed a shift, stacks up the top line, and just like that, it's a 1-2 whack-a-mole situation as cars go spinning down the infield. Jeremy Flanagan, I can assure you, not going to be happy about that restart. Let's go ahead and take another look at this here one more time from Matt Johnson's view. See if we can get what happened initially in front of the 72 here. We go to the blimp. You can see car off in the grass. That's going to stack up the top line. Flanagan has no idea. It's coming to 78, and it's all she wrote from there is multiple cars take it to the fence here early from Michigan. Probably not going to see any takers on pit road this early in the race. Some of these guys further on in the back can always come down pit road and top off that fuel cell here tonight. Doesn't look like we had any takers on pit road. Oh, I take that back. We got a couple here. Ryan Farrell on pit road. The 93 decides to come down as well. And this should just be a fuel stop only. Do not want to burn a set of those Dr. Feelgoods here early. See the 93 there comes into his pit stall just as expected. Sunoco Racing Fuel top off the fuel cell will follow the 43 off of pit road as well. Chris Melton, Brandon M. Hilton in the 25 down pit road as well. Fuel only situation for some cars deep in the pack here. Again, want to thank our premier sponsor tonight, Colombo Properties, for jumping on board here with us this evening. Cannot do it with all the support from all the men and women behind the scenes that help the SCL Cup Series each and every season. Certainly all these drivers and our competitors are always thankful for all the support they get from all of their premier partners. Pace car is going to get ready to pull off once again. Pace car is coming down pit road. Isaac F. Love's going to have the button. He's going to have Justin Lewis on the outside. Let's see if they try to do anything a little different. And Love gets a brilliant restart here. Lila Peters on the bottom gets a great run as well. She's going to try to come up and side draft Barrett Flo just a little bit. And Isaac Love playing the draft game there as well. As you can see, everyone's spreading out already. Still Isaac Love at the front, single file about the first 6-7 cars on back. Mike Peters right now, he's got himself in the hornet's nest. As you can see him working on the bottom side of the racetrack here. He likes it down low. Merkel rocking the top. There's no surprise. Oh, get skinny, boys. Also another big moment there almost early. There's Mike Peters and Todd Merkel, longtime friends, but a lot like Senior and Waltrip. They race each other totally different out there on the racetrack when that business face is on. Oh, someone almost left the stuffing all over Michael Matta in the 16. That's exactly how I like my Waffle House hash brown, smothered and covered, and that's exactly what's going on here. Just outside the top 10, this 11th through 13th you're watching right now on the racetrack. You know, sometimes it's okay in the early going here to, dial things down just a little bit. And again, the other, other part of this is a byproduct of this racetrack as Mike Peters comes way off the racetrack. He probably got a little slideways, I imagine, probably coming off that corner. Uh-oh, problems again. We got caution in the air. Got tire smoke all over the place. Caution back out, lap 7. We're going to see who done did it this time. This Austin Call may have been involved here. Oh, yep. Oh, Call gets in the Merck's Merkle. Cars scattering all over the place. And oh, my goodness. We got to back that up. Call that one back. Just when you think it's over. Flanagan involved here again. Watch Jeremy Flanagan come and gets another piece of Yarborough. Basically, Arca bombs the 18. As this could be a tough race for Flanagan and others, as that 72 has got to have some monster damage on that race car. Actually, it don't look that bad, but he was definitely in it, got a piece. So that 72 is 2 for 2 right now, 2 cautions, and he had front row seats to both of them. As this race probably couldn't start any worse for the driver of the Kaiser Cat, number 72 ZL1 Camaro. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight live on SRM. Thinking about and joining the family, it's simple. Come home to 7 days of high-octane, high-flying eSIM racing action on your esports leader right here on SRM. Smash the like button, ring the bell. That also is going to help us see the YouTube algorithm, get more potential viewers just like yourselves in front of these drivers' faces here this evening. Taking a look there at Adam Love in the 58 machine, currently just outside the top 5 in that 6th place position. Max Caldwell there in the 94, even with the board. In fact, same situation for Lilith Peters. Started 4th, currently in 4th. Biggest mover inside the top 5 right now. Barrett Flo up 4 spots in the 92. And Isaac Love continues to put on a restart clinic here, as he's going to have to do it again. Is now the challenger in the outside lane. It's going to be Barrett Flo in that 92 machine. Flanagan coming off of pit road, probably, hopefully didn't have to burn his fast repair already, but an extended stop there, about 39 seconds there on pit road in the box, so clearly getting some damage repair done. Sieg now comes off of pit road. Let's take it back to the point. Austin Call down pit road as well. Remember, he took a hard shot in that 18 Liquid Death machine. Is Todd Merkel and Austin Call got together. That basically ignited that incident out there on the racetrack. You see him now coming into his pit box for service on that number 18 machine. Well, if some of these drivers, they wanted to get some opportunities to practice restarts, they're certainly getting it here early. It's just 10 laps in the books. We're going to have to shuffle the deck, line them up here once again. Let's see what Barrett Flo has got for Isaac Love here on the top shelf this time. Justin Lewis and Lilith Peters had a little strategery. They had some synergy going there. Just couldn't quite pull it off, as Isaac Love did a great job here at the front. Pace car is going to pull off once again. You slowly approach the Geico restart zone. Isaac Love, he's got the button loaded. He's going to let it fly. Great restart by Isaac Love once again as he shoots out of a cannon like Evel Knievel. But here comes, side by side. They're leaning on each other. Lewis and Flo early in this one, showing they both came to play as Lilith Peters has a front row seat and she probably doesn't want any part of that right now. As they continue to be side by side, door to door. Justin Lewis said, hey man, you can have it. I don't want to race this hard this early. We're only at lap 11. So move Justin Lewis back to the second place position where he started. No change at the front. Barrett Flo continues to run in third. Lilith Peters in fourth. And Max Caldwell in fifth. And caution again on the racetrack. You know what they say, ladies and gentlemen, cautions breed cautions. And that seems to be what's going on right now. It's just race right now is yellow flag dominant. And Michael Matta involved in this one. Similar story at Daytona last week. Is having a great run, got caught in someone else's dumpster fire. He just comes up there and hooks the 04, and you can see everyone scattering behind him there. I mean, there's cars all over the place eating it. Somebody got a massive piece there. Is everyone trying to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, in the words of the Dodgeball movie. You know, it's relevant to what's going out there on the racetrack right now is everyone scattering all over the place. But Matta, I mean, he went up there and just misjudged it. Perhaps didn't realize how much faster he was and just goes up there and gets up close and personal, and that sets this caution sequence off. See pace car back out in front, that iRacing.com. Pace vehicle at the front of this point. Once again, got to slow everything down to caution pace here. You know, this gets difficult for some of these drivers. They just cannot get into their race rhythm with all these restarts right off the bat. And sometimes this can lead to a very long race, and I'm sure that could be on the minds of some of these drivers. So you want to make sure that it's early, guys. Don't let those tempers and emotions start to boil over here early, because that will just help fuel the caution fire, if you will. Biggest mover of the race so far in the 45. Beautiful looking Richard Petty throwback car. Johnny Lefevers Jr. up 18 spots from where he started. Mark Brown in the 73, another big mover so far here this evening, just outside the top 10 in that 13th place position. Jason Crumley up 13 positions inside the top 15 in the 83. See if we go on board with him. And Brandon Cornier up 12 spots, back in 18th right now. All these drivers having a great run here early, despite all the different shenanigans that have transpired through just 14 laps of action here. We go back up to the front, on board with Isaac Love. And Love would love to lead this race after this restart. Again, he's been doing a great job holding off the rest of the field here. But what tends to happen sometimes, you know, you get all these different opportunities to, you know, practice these restarts here. You know, where do you go in that Geico restart zone? Well, if you go, Do you go further in the box? Do you go later? Well, some of these drivers are going to start, noticing a pattern here. And one of these times they could get an opportunity to guess right. Because Justin Lewis is going to have another shot at it. Because he's going to be top shelf for Mama Hides the Cookies. Pace car is going to pull off one more time. Green flag back in the air. And Love lays it out once again as he easily pulls 2 to 3 car lengths. And he's going to come up to the top side this time. You can really see Barrett Flo and Max Caldwell really going after it there for that 4th place position. Side by side, door to door, coming out of the turns 1 and 2 complex, rifling down the back straight. Got the 8 of Josh Terrahill in there right there as well in that Budweiser Dale Jr. throwback Chevrolet. Probably easily one of the best looking cars in the field. This is these guys getting after it. Mike Peters there as well. You can see him working on the inside of Bob Fitzpatrick. Merkel coming into the picture as well as he's up 8 spots in 9th. What do you say we go on board with Brother Todd here? Just to give you a bird's eye view of what all this action looks like on the racetrack. You got 3 different groups, sometimes 4 if you really want to make a case out of it. Is Merkel clearly in the heart of the Hornet's nest right now? You can see the 2x2 side by side going at it in front as Mike Peters going to battle. As we look out the back of Merkel's vehicle, you can see 2x2 action all over the racetrack. And ladies and gentlemen, 17 laps completed of lap 80. We're going to step aside, pay some bills, but don't worry, you're not going to miss anything as we're going to go all out full coverage for the entire race. race fans, welcome back here to the Colombo Properties 150 from the Irish Hills of Michigan. As we cut back into all-out coverage as caution back out on the Speedway. There's multiple cars now coming down pit road here. Actually, I take that back. Lap 22 of 80. This is going to be the stage caution as you see a mad dash coming off the pit road here. Everyone, 4 tires and fuel for most of these cars here. Austin Call taking 4 tires here. Michael Matta, Eric Shawless, Jason Crumley, Isaac Love, 4 tires on that stop as well, as he's now back in that 7th place position. His first time he's going to taste of what it's like back in traffic. We'll see how long it takes him to charge back up towards the front. There's Josh Terrett Hill and Jonathan Casper stay out on the racetrack. Just showing you how important that track position is, especially in this next-gen car. And I'll tell you what, you got the fearsome 4 in this series at the front right now. You got Josh Terrett Hill in the 8, up 13 spots. He's going to be your leader. Jonathan Casper in 6th place position, or I'm sorry, plus 6 spots in the 6 car. Thank him for your pick 2 lottery numbers tonight. Austin Calver in the 18. He's in 3rd, and Michael Mata up 11 spots in 4th. You know, some of the big contenders in the series, right where you expect them to be, right here at the front of this piece. But how about Jason Crumley in that 83 machine? He's up 23 spots. Eric Salz as well in the 60. Using a little pit strategery to their advantage. Max Caldwell right there as well, inside the top 10 in that 7th place position. And of course, the leader for the first stint of the race, Isaac Love, after servicing his race car, now in that 8th place position. 9th belongs to Bob Fitzpatrick and Justin Lewis, rounding out the top 10 in the 7th. Lights out on the pace car. We get ready to rock and roll. Polo his belts tight one more time. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us right here on SRM. Got tuned into the right YouTube channel. Now join the right eSIM broadcasting leader. Smash the like button, ring the bell, come home to 7 days of high-flying racing action, just like what you're watching right now as the SCL invades Michigan in prime time. Great restart there by the 8 as he's going to get a nice jump on Matta. But take a look what's forming up here on the bottom side of the racetrack. The 18 giving a nice little push there to the 6 as he's going to get right up on the back bumper of the 16. And we're just about three wide, just behind Casper as Austin Call is taking it to the bottom. Oh, the 7 almost stuffed it where the sun didn't shine there. I don't know how he fit that car in there. Mike Peters, the 60 machine being piloted by Eric Shawls, right in that hornet's nest as well. As we're now 2 by 2. It's a Noah's Ark situation from 4th on back to that 8th place spot. Is Max Caldwell going at it with the 7 of Lewis. You can see just how wide the racing group is here. You know, if your car's not working on the bottom, Caldwell now going to take it 3 wide here. He's going to drop it down into the corner. You can see just how close he's getting at times to these other competitors out on the racetrack as these guys are all jostling for position, doing the Indy Snake. And again, this almost at reaching speeds of 200 miles an hour as they fire off down into turn 1. Josh Terry Hill now able to pull it out almost to 0.4 of a second over Michael Matta in that 16 machine. Got Chevrolet leads. Matta's the fastest of the Fords right now in that second place position. Then you have some more Chevrolets there. You know, of Austin Call, or the TRD machine of Austin Call. First Toyota in line. So really manufacturers are 1, 2, 3 right now. Just starting to turn up the heat once again here at the front. That's the diamond formation. That's never a good sign, as they get out of that quick, fast, and in a hurry. And again, this racing up towards the front is absolutely next level right now. See the 94 there, and Max Caldwell. He's up doing a little shake and bake action with the 18 Austin Call. As Call's got his hand out the window saying, hey, buddy, give me a push. Let's go up there. But these two lines right now that are side by side for, you know, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, that's going to allow some of these drivers behind him, you know, like Barrett Flo, and in fact, they're there already. You know, that can slow, that definitely slows your lap times down. That kills the momentum. As the 6 of Casper continues to try and rebound here towards the front. 3 wide just in front of him. Who's threading the needle there? Isaac Love sends it up the gut. That was a bold move. Oh, Matta almost slides up the track, gets up close and personal with the 18 a call once again. And you gotta, you know, these spotters working hard right now, making sure there's, you know, room for these guys to fit their race cars. There's a big shot from the 94 to the 18 of Caldwell. And man, Michael Matta there as well. I mean, it is just absolutely fast and furious at the front of this piece. You would think it's 5 laps to go, but that's not the case at all. I mean, look at this. Hello, Talladega, maybe just a little bit. As these drivers are just throwing haymakers at each other right now. And just as we start getting good in the neighborhood, caution back out on the racetrack once again. Working lap 31. See if we can find out what happened here. So we definitely got the yellow flag here. Slow things down here again, lap 31. This is going to restack the deck here one more time. Pace car once again out in front of the field as Justin Lewis continues to lead here at Michigan. Pit road is going to become a hot and heavy place here once again. See multiple cars coming down pit road, including Josh Terrett Hill. There he is coming in, heading towards his pit box. Trevor Dalton's going to stay out on the racetrack. Michael Matta in for service in his race car as well. Looks to be a fuel-only stop. Is not seeing any jack action on that Chevrolet Camaro right now. As he pulls back out into traffic. Go back, take a look at the race coming off of pit road here. Everyone pretty much down and away. Brandon Murray still in his box right now in that Liberty University 88 Chevrolet Camaro. William Klaus as well as he's got some moderate damage on that 04 Ford Mustang. Again, lights are on the pace car, lap 32. We're going to step aside, pay some bills, but you're not going to miss any of the action as we go all-out coverage from Michigan for the Colombo Properties 150. Race fans, welcome back to the Irish Hills of Michigan for the Colombo Properties 150. The nighttime is the right time for SCL in prime time. His green flag back in the air, now working lap 36 of lap 80. Justin Lewis continues to lead over Max Caldwell, Bob Fitzpatrick, Isaac Love, and Todd, my man, Merkel in that 5th place position. You know, before that caution flag came out, I mean, look at Todd Merkel. He is in it with Mike Peters right now. They are 3 wide ripping into the turns 3 and 4 complex. And see, that's what the veteran drivers in this series do. They know 3 wide, especially just shy of halfway, probably not the best situation to put themselves in. So I'll tell you what, Mark Brown got a heck of a run there on the high side of the racetrack. Look at Mikey Peters there, sending it in onto the bottom. He's eating on the inside. action all over this racetrack, just everywhere you look right now. Oh! I'm not sure if that was a frame drop or if Merkel just had a heck of a run and didn't realize it, because he looked like you couldn't fit a piece of paper between the front of his Ford Mustang and the 92 of Barrett Flo. Nick Johnson, he's getting jiggy with it right now. He's doing his impersonation of the Indy Snake. Whoa, oh, that's loose. That's big time loose. As Lefevre gets sideways, he gets into the wall, and he is going backwards in the wrong direction. Caution flag's going to park or come out, and he instantly tows it to the pits. iRacing.com pace car is going to fly back out onto the field once again. .45 now has got it facing the right way. Let's go back to the SRM instant replay. Go to the eye in the sky. See what the chopper cam picked up here. As you can feel that one coming in the air tonight, in the words of Phil Collins. And the 45 just goes DK, not Donkey Kong Drift King mode. Bounces it off the 27. 1-2 whack-a-mole situation. Barrett Flo gets absolutely clobbered there. He gets howitzered. Let's take a look at this here one more time. You can see the 45 there is on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. He sends it off into the corner there and just starts to lose the back of that car. Make contact with the 27. He's going to come get up close and personal with the 8. The 8's going to come down and get just absolutely sent to the cleaners. This caution currently being displayed at the flag stand here from the house that Penske built right here at the Michigan International Speedway. Barney getting into that flag wave. Everyone's getting to work out here so far. So 45 still sits on pit road. Probably going to be an extended stop. As you can see that quarter panel crash crunched in on the STP ride. Jackson to go up there. Tires as well. He's halfway home. 50% of this race in the history books is Justin Lewis looks to capitalize here in Michigan. What do you say we go through the top 10 as we currently under caution right now? Justin Lewis currently owns this piece. He carries the torch at the front. Max Caldwell currently in second. Barrett Flo up 3 spots in third. Todd Merkel making noise, charging to the front. He's got that Merkel Race Engines Ford Mustang dialed in, and that thing is screaming right now. Nick Johnson in 5th, running out your top 5. Trevor Dalton up 15 spots in 6th. Residing in 7th, Matthew McKean. Newcomer, Brendan Corner in that 55, up 22 spots. Very impressive. Matthew McKean in that 8th place position. Joshua Yarbrough in 9th. Michael Matta rounding out the top 10. But look who is knocking on the back door here in 11th. Jeremy Flanagan, remember, he couldn't have had a bigger disaster to start this race off, as he was the main event in both the 2 cautions that kicked off this race. Somehow has that 72 in that 11th place position, absolutely driving his tail off. Still got plenty of time, just got to be smart. You know, that's the story for a lot of these drivers. You know, take what the track gives you. Race the racetrack. Don't get caught up racing yourself. We re-rack these cars, restack them one more time. Get ready to go back. Green flag action here one more time from the Irish Hills of Michigan. Lights now out on the pace car. Watch that pace car drop down pit road. You ready to come into the Geico restart zone. Justin Lewis, he's going to have the trigger. He goes late in the box. He's going to catch Caldwell on the sleeper. Barrett Flo got a great restart there. Here comes the bottom line with some energy. As the front two get away. Merkel, first guy in line. Oh, Flanagan. What in the world happened there? Flanagan able to get it back on the racetrack as things got hot and heavy. Certainly a Code Brown moment. So I almost feel bad for shouting him out. That broadcaster's curse is real. As Flanagan holding on for dear life right now, back in the dirty air in that 16th place position. As we go back up towards the front, it is all Justin Lewis, Barrett Flo, and Max Caldwell. So front three now sit separated. Throw Todd Merkel into that mix as well. So it's a single file through the first four positions at the front. Matthew McKean in fifth. 44, Nick Johnson going at it right now with the 27 adult. A little bit of a John Force special here. Coming into the 3 and 4 complex. 27's going to throw the slider. You can see a big wiggle. Looked like from the 16 there, Amata coming off the corner as he really had to reel that race car. You see how it stacks the energy up behind him, and instantly you got this gaggle of cars because of that, that loss in energy. Just had to, loses so much momentum. 3 wide going by the stripe is the 93 up close and personal with Max Caldwell giving him a big push there. So we're still 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2 complex. Get skinny, boys. Mike Peters there as well. New fastest lap of the race. Guess who? Isaac Love in the 62 as he currently works his way back towards the front of this piece. Remember, he led a majority of the laps early here. Got shuffled back in traffic on a pit sequence as I believe he took 4 tires while some other competitors decided to stay out or put 2 tires on the race car. Just showing you how difficult it can be at times to maneuver through this dirty air, which really affects the balance of this next-gen race car. Max Caldwell now finds himself under siege from the 92 of Flo. It's a Noah's Ark situation, 2nd through 4th. Isaac Love now up to that 4th place position. Justin Lewis continues to hold on to this lead, but that car may be fading just a little bit. Oh, big moment for Max Caldwell as that was code everything. Through the Geico restart zone again, putting lap 47 in the history books. And here comes the energy from the top shelf. Barrett Flo is going to peek to the inside of the racetrack. Can he make it stick as they both wash up the hill just a little bit? Oh, they're getting good in the neighborhood once again. It's where everyone's bobbing and weaving. Big run from the 41. The 7 has to lift just a little bit. Oh, they're touching. We got tire smoke flying. Oh, the 41 of McKean almost gets cleaned out. It is not drift night at Michigan. I mean, as cool as that looks, that is a great way to get your heartbeat racing inside the cockpit of that race car. Todd Merkel, VIP front row tickets to that one, but that is not what Todd wants to see out the front windshield of that Ford Mustang. I can assure you of that. Mike Peters there now battling in that 10th place position, going after the 44 Johnson. Currently in 9th. Peters going to have, hey, it's a Peter affair, because you got Mike Peters and Lilith Peters working together. I'm not sure if that's by design, but you got the 95 ride and Rookie of the Year contender, or winner, I should say, Lilith Peters, LP. It's an MP and LP thing right now out there at the racetrack. Perhaps they're working together. Two Chevrolets charging towards the front. You know, that's a driver you can never count out there. Lilith Peters, so methodical. You know, a very sensitive race car driver. Understands how to feel the balance. Knows how to gauge those tires. You know, just so good behind the wheel. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, this is the 27 saves it. Is he had a date with the inside retaining wall and somehow found the abort button. Got it. Oh, caution on the racetrack. I believe that was Johnny LaFeur's. Let's go to the chopper cam here. And it looks like Jimmy Eggenfelder in the replay booth there got a little ahead of themselves as they're probably off eating some ice cream right now and queued up the wrong replay there for the booth, but I can assure you, caution out on the Speedway. Go back taking a look there at Lilith Peters. Was working very well with Mike Peters coming towards the front. As Barrett Flo now continues to lead. Look who's rebounded there to that second place position, Isaac Love. Making it look easy coming through the field through 52 laps of competition. Gonna see a lot of drivers peel off, come down pit road here. Max Caldwell coming in for service. Klaus Williams in the 04. Matthew McKean, Todd Merkel. All these drivers getting 4 tires and fuel right now. Trevor Dalton. Race off pit road. Todd Merkel has a great pit stop. One of the fastest of the bunch there from cone to cone as far as the pit delta is concerned. At the front of this piece, Isaac Love. Mike Peters stays out. I believe now we have the incident that brought out that caution flag. A little bit of an incident in the pits. Talked about it earlier. Strategy, track position, how important it is. You know, at these 1.5 mile speedways, throw a 2 mile speedway into that equation. Mike Peter knows that. He understands it and makes a brilliant call here, in my opinion, to stay out here. Currently, puts that car in second place and bringing LP, Lilith Peters, with him. MP and LP, second and third out there on the racetrack. Rookie Brendan Coyer continues to impress, up 26 spots here in fourth. See the 896 Bob Fitzpatrick. Still has a little bit of pug face on the front of his Camaro. With this field re-racked, restacked, ready to rock and roll here one more time. Jeremy Flanagan there in the 72 continues to try and rebound, as he has had his hands full this entire race. So he's currently in that 15th place position. Lights out on the pace car. Pace car now on pit road as the field of coaches approaches the Geico restart zone. Isaac Love, he's going to have the restart in the trigger. He's going to drop the hammer. Gets a great restart once again, as now Mike Peters and Lilith Peters go door to door, tail to tail for second place as they're side by side going into the turns 1 and 2 complex. Peters going to take the spot. Mike Peters down attacking on the inside. LP's going to give him some room there. She's going to take it to the top shelf, run the fishbowl here, coming out of 3 and 4. They're still side by side. Lilith barely had that position by about 3/1000ths of a second at the line. All this going on while Isaac Love has rebounded and charged back to the helm here, back to the point, as he's retaken which once was his in the early going. Isaac Love back to the lead. Mike Peters now in up to second, as he's saying, hey, you know what, wait a minute, it's been a while since I've been out and led one of these things. It's Michigan. I love this place. I know how to get around here, as he's showing right now. And he's going to go up there and start putting Love in the pressure cooker. As here comes Bob Fitzpatrick as well. Oh, Mike Peters gets Isaac Love loose. Peters to the point. The 95, check the box. New mayor in town, Mike Peters, takes it to the lead here at lap 58. Oh, just as I say that, he gets big time loose. That's going to cost him a ton of momentum. As look at the freight train that is queued up on the outside. Here comes Caldwell Flow. Feels like some ebb and flow going on here at the front right now. Door-to-door racing there side by side. Now remember, that's going to slow their lap times down just a little bit when they're having their own little micro battles like that on the racetrack. And you can see behind them just how the herd is able to catch up to them, especially, you know, when that's right at the front of the pack like that. I mean, Mike Peters had a big-time scare there, you know, and he was able now, because of that, to put himself right back in contention, as he's 5 for 5, up 5 spots in that 5th place position in the 95 ride. Todd Merkel just cannot seem to get out of the action. 3 wide just behind Merkel. We say we go on board here. Oh, they make contact. The 58 and Merkel trading some paint there as we go on board of the GoPro cam. I mean, you can see just how hot and heavy it is out there on the racetrack. Ooh, the 60 really forcing the issue there, not giving Todd much room. So that situation now improves for Todd Merkel just a little bit. Now just 20 laps remaining. This is really when you're going to see the octane go through the next level here. Oh, somebody got in the wall. That was the 62. Or not the 62. Matt, what are you doing? The 6 got in the wall there. Justin Lewis finds himself in that 15th place position. After being super strong earlier on in this race, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get up there and contend here. But he knows how to drive to the front. You know, another driver that was strong early, Michael Maddow, once again. Strong race car, found himself in some trouble on the racetrack as we're now 3 wide. Oh, we got big problems. Caution's going to come out on the racetrack as someone got dumped. Oh, no. You were just talking about her. Go to the chopper, eye in the sky. You can see just this hard, intense racing. You know, the 58 comes across the nose of the 44. Lilith Peters has nowhere to go. And then she gets gut-bustered by the 77 and gets her face peeled off that Camaro as well. And I believe Adam Lowe as well involved in that crash. Let's take another look at this one more time. Slow it down just a little bit here. You can see, you know, everyone jostling for position here. Under 20 laps to go. We're now going quarter speed with this to give you a good breakdown exactly of what happened here, what went wrong. You see the 73 is going to come up there, give a little bit of a tap to the back of the 58. Obviously, the 73 pushing the 58 down the backstretch here. 44 is going to come up a little bit, try to side draft perhaps. You see Matta in the 16 on the outside. The 7 of Lewis going to shoot the gap there, and I think the 58 tried to perhaps follow him through there as the 58 came down as the 7 made his move. Not enough room to clear there. Lilith Peters comes in, and that's just up. That's Captain Crunch all day long. The 77 comes in, serves up the pounding in the rear for that number 1. Yarbrough is going to get a piece. Jeremy Flanagan. Does Flanagan get through this? I believe he finally catches a break and gets through one of these incidences here at Michigan. There's now just 17 laps to go from the house that Penske built here in the Irish Hills of one of the most iconic speedways in the modern era of NASCAR. This next-gen car in the package, the aero package that it has, just puts on some great racing at a place like this. And Another place was Auto Club Speedway, which unfortunately off the map sold. It's coming back, but it's not going to be anywhere near as close to what it was, as it's going to be a short track, which I believe is slated to come back in 2025 or 2026 season as it stands right now. Pace car pulls off here. McKean's going to have the button. Merkel on the front row on the bottom. You can see the 16 was trying to give the 41 a push, but he totally just, I don't know what happened on the restart there. If Merkel missed a shift, but he just accordioned up the entire bottom line as we're already 3 wide now. As this could light diffusion set off another massive caution here. If these drivers aren't careful, 3 wide coming out of the turns, 1 and 2 complex. Oh, there it goes, right on cue. As that one had trouble written over it right on the start. It's just something did not go well for that Ford Mustang and Todd Merkel there on the restart. Caution back out on the racetrack once again. As Matthew McKean continues to leave, Michael Madden currently in second, Barrett Flo in third, Jonathan Casper resides in fourth, Eric Schall's in fifth. In that sixth place position, Ryan Farrell, Todd Merkel in 10th after starting on the front row on that restart. Max Caldwell currently in 8th, Isaac Love in 9th, and in 10th, running out your top 10, Trevor Dalton in the 27. The team and I continue to hunt for a replay on that incident involving the last caution flag. Here is now just 13 laps remaining. Now, a couple cars on pit road here right now to speak about. Bob Fitzpatrick currently on pit road getting service. Nick Johnston, Nick Young, Joshua Yarbrough there in the 77 in his pit stall as well. Interesting. Todd Merkel comes down pit road, takes his last set of tires, hits the can of Sunoco racing fuel. He's going to have to see where this puts Todd back in the running order. Remember, coming off of that last caution sequence, Todd was right there on the front row, highest he's been running all day in that second place position. Was having a great run until just restart woes plagued the two there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, caution flag on display here at Michigan. Once again, we're going to step aside for a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to miss anything as we continue to go all-out coverage right here on SRM. Race fans, back to just 11 laps remaining as we go on board with the leader here on the restart, Matt McKean, working the high side of the racetrack. She's looking to fend off Barrett Flo here. Gets a phenomenal restart, as you can see. Everyone 2 and 3 wide behind him there, and that's going to give him a great opportunity to get some real estate between himself and the rest of the top 3, top 5. As Matta now is rebounded all the way up into that third place position. Barrett Flo continues to run in second, and caution once again back out on the racetrack. And I think that was, oh no, not Isaac Love. Oh, 4 wide, this ain't gonna work. It's the dead hook destruction. Comes across and just, I hope he didn't have any dinner plans. You know, we're going to go VHS mode here, old school, and back this up. There are some big shots here. Multiple drivers. 4 wide, never a good thing. The 94 comes up. They have kissy face that comes up and just howitzers the 8 that rockets the 62 around. He's going backwards out there on the racetrack. And Isaac Love was putting on a performance here this evening of epic proportion. And in the blink of an eye, potentially taken out of this race with now just 10 laps to go. Matty McKean, he's had a keen eye for keeping that vehicle up front here in the late going. Is the 41 currently sits in that first place position, your leader. Barrett Flo has been vibing in that second spot. Michael Matta was strong at Daytona last week. Cautions just seemed to find him on the racetrack, but not today. Matta right there in that third place position, deep late in this one, right where he wants to be. There, that 16 might not be said and done yet. He could easily come up there and take this thing, depending on how things go in these last 9 laps of the race. Eric Schultz in that 60 car in fourth. Mike Peters creeping. I mean, that 95's been bad fast all race long. And yet again, here it is, under 10 laps to go. And Mike Peters in fifth, up 5 spots. Your pick 4 lottery numbers tonight, 5, 5, 95. If you do place in the money, 20% does go to the 95, as it supports his cause for that, putting that car on the racetrack and other shop fees as well. So you can thank Mike Peters for your pick 4 lotto numbers tonight. That's going to be 5, 5, and 95. Just behind him, Trevor Dalton. In that 6th place position, Justin Lewis. Klaus Williams in 8th. Brandon Murray in 9th. And Lilith Peters, LP, in 10th. Lights go out on that pace car once again. Drivers have one more opportunity to reach up, pull those belts tight one more time to take their breath, or catch their breath, I should say, as we're about to dial up the wow factor here in just a few moments as we throw that checkered flag back in the, or that green flag back in the air once again. And you know, while Matthew McCain looks for the win, if you guys are looking for your own personal victory, how's $500 in your pocket sound? Colombo Properties Real Estate Investment Firm. You can do it. It's simple. Looking for vacant properties? Let's say you know of one. Pick up the phone. Call 586-622-0721. If they buy a house, you score $500 Visa gift card. It's a win-win for you, a win-win for them. In an economy like it is, why now? Make the right decision and insist on Colombo Properties. As we get ready to go back to green flag action here one more time. Oh, McKean clean on the restart. Looked like he had 50 more horsepower than everyone else. I mean, he just walked Barrett Flow, and that's a hard thing to do. Uh-oh. Here we go. It is getting spicy behind Mata as we got multiple cars going drift mode off the corner. Green flag still in the air. Oh, there it is. Caution on the racetrack again. So I think Brandon Murray brought the fury on this one. Go to the eye of the sky here. Yep, the 88 just lost it off the bottom. Hits once, twice, 3 times off the inside retaining wall. And one more tap for good measure there. As he gets the 88 rolling pointed back straight. I believe Nick Johnson is well involved. Oh, wait a minute. Is he outside the racetrack? What in the world happened to the 44? Yeah, he's literally out to pasture there. That's definitely out of bounds there. I understand why he immediately towed it to the pits, as things have gone askew in the 44 camp. How about Matty Clean McCain? Last part of this race, that Ford Mustang has really come alive. So he's throwing a tribute there to Kevin Harvick. Even though it kind of says Bush forever. But you know what that's in reference to. Kevin Harvick came on the scene in 2001 after a devastating loss in life by Dale Earnhardt Sr. at Daytona. Can't believe it's been that many years as we watched a driver who was basically a kid at the time fill the shoes of the biggest dynamic personality in probably motorsports history. As we send off Kevin Harvick at the end of this season. So many drivers in so many leagues throwing some shade, showing some love to the driver of the number 4 Ford Mustang. But you can see it being displayed there on the side of that 41 as it's wrapped in that Busch paint scheme. Field getting re-racked, restacked once again. Lilith Peters now finds herself in 10th. SCL Rookie of the Year. Trying to make it win number 1 of the season. But Matty Ice here at the front. McCain looking to write his own story in the history books. Lights now out on the pace car. Tell you what, Barrett Flo has really entrenched himself in that second place position. Does he have a joker up his sleeve, perhaps? Does he have something dialed up for the 41 on this restart? Don't forget, you got Mike Peters there on the outside, row 2. Pace car is going to pull off. McCain having the button, or is going to have the button once again. Great restart by the 41. Barrett Flo's got some help on the bottom, though, as does Mike Peters from Michael Matta. The front 2 get away side by side for 3rd. Why not 4 wide? Harvey Wood, whoa, get skinny. As we fire down the backstretch, Lilith Peters surging hard late up to 6th. Remember, she took the green flag in 10th. She's got that one ripping on the bottom. Let's go on board with LP. Gets a great run here coming up on the back of the 60 of Schultz. Justin Lewis getting a great run on the high side of the racetrack just ahead of her. Mike Peters doing battle on the high side. Oh, he is all challenging for the lead right now. It's Barrett Flo and Matty McCain. John Force special at almost 200 miles an hour. Michael Matta's going to take this race here at the end. I'm sorry, Barrett Flo is going to take the race here at the end. Matty McKean is going to come home in second. Mike Peters in third. Eric Schultz running out the top four. Blue Peters comes home fifth. Isaac Love, impressive in this race once again, backing up his Daytona's performance, comes home in sixth. Adam Lowe in eighth, and Jeremy Flanagan in ninth. Great rebound for him. Trevor Dalton's going to come home 10th. But Barrett Flo vibing here at the end in Michigan. I'm surprised he is not burning some tires, or maybe not just yet. Want to thank everyone for joining us here live once again on SRM. As you see, Mike Peters, he knows how to do a burnout. He's spinning some tires down there at the start-finish line. We're going to talk to all of our top three podium finishers here in just a moment. We wait for our drivers to come up in here into the broadcast rating room. Barrett Flo comes home, and your winner in first. Manny McKean in second. Mike Peters in third. Your third place finisher here from the Irish Hills of Michigan, Mike Peters. Matt, up in the booth. You got me, bud.
Hey, I did.
Mike, it seemed like you were dead in the heat of the action, the Hornet's Nest, for most of that race. Describe the vibe and the energy out there on the racetrack over those 80 laps.
Yeah, lot of energy at all times. There were some times that the pit cycling was very interesting. Normally there's bigger clusters of people that stay on one cycle. It got split up into two and three groups of cycles. So that was interesting. There were a couple times where on the restarts there was some folks where I didn't want to be around them. Kind of backed up a little bit for it to cycle out. Once it cycled out, I was able to light some ice. I couldn't stop on the middle. I just run anywhere from the lighter yellow line all the way to the wall. But couldn't get it done there at the end. I thought I had him on the back straight because I saw them running and taking each other out. But I don't know if Barrett came up into McMeekin or McMeekin just came up. But whoever pinched me up on the wall on the back straight, I'm pretty sure I would have had it. But Uncle Rico would have went in for it. He was on pro, so that last lap was pretty fun there. It was just nice to be able to see it through and work through a lot of stuff. The main thing I wanted to say while I was in there is thanks to everybody that's been a part of SCL. We still got some work to do. We rewrite the rule book. We brought in other guys for race control who've been fantastic. And the car count's pretty solid. And the nice thing too is like in these races, there's 15, 20 guys that would wind up talking to you afterwards. It wouldn't be luck that brought them there. So that was pretty fun. And due to that, the energy was pretty high all race. A lot of opportunity for confidence. It was fun.
Mike, I couldn't have said that better myself, and I'll tell you what, all your hard work, first of all, thanks to you and everything that you do for this series to make, it is what it is today. And you hit the nail on the head. This race was off the chain from the drop of the green flag. There was racing at the front. There was racing in the middle. There was three wide at the back. And you're right. Just about anyone that makes up the field has an opportunity, to go out there and win a race week in and week out. And that's because of, all the phenomenal league members and admins such as yourself that put all the time and seat work in. So on behalf of the league and, especially up here in the broadcast booth, thank you for everything that you do. And coming back to that last lap, you got pinched up there at the wall, as you mentioned. If that didn't happen, you think you would have had the momentum to come up there and challenge the 92 at the stripe?
I think I could have checked out.
there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Peters definitely had a car that was hooked up here this evening at Michigan, as he was absolutely thrilling to watch as he could slice and dice through the field at command. Didn't seem to be plagued by all that aerodynamic drag and other coefficients that seem to plague these cars at time, as his Mustang was hooked up. Mike, before we cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 95?
Thanks to all my friends that watch us be nerds and play video games. This is what we're doing. It's fun. The broadcast makes it fun. Thank you for coming out. I mean, this is fun. But it's fun to go watch it. And also, I have a pro truck. I claim to race at Houston Motorsports Park, but I don't because I can't afford to do the damage that we do here in video game land. But Raising Canes does support that program, and we support SCL. So if you get a chance, go check them out. Once you drive through the first time, you'll continue to go. It's definitely and then skills driving, they do skillsdriving.com. You can check them out. They do fleet safety training and some other stuff. It's really cool for your company to save a bunch of money on insurance. I guess they do some stuff with them.
They can't hear us, right? They can't hear the interview or interviewee on the broadcast.
Well, thank you for the heads up on that. And since no one can hear us, let me find out why really quick. Mike, sorry about that.
It's all good. I guess technically it's my fault. That's my
Let me minimize my screen here. Let's see what's going on.
Pretty sure they can hear you, Mike. Matt only.
Is that an EOL for the interview then?
Mike, Matt up in the booth. I know you and I just had a quick conversation as apparently the Discord out was not going to the broadcast. But Mike, you are hot now. You want to quickly summarize what we just talked about? Mike comes home third, had a bad fast Ford Mustang. He could basically make that car stick wherever he wanted over the course of this race. Comes up just a little bit short. And Mike, I want to give you the floor back because you had a lot of key points in, just reaping the benefits of all the hard work that you guys have put in to make this such a much more competitive league. And that was really showing the fruits of your labor here tonight at Michigan, as this was probably one of the best races I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really good drivers here in SCL. We've got probably 15, 20 guys that and girls that honestly could be talking to you after any race, and it wouldn't be just due to luck. It'd be because they can all run. Which way the cookie crumbles, that has a little bit to do. But out here today, it was pretty fun. There were more pit cycles strategies than I anticipated. I noticed there was like 2 or 3 different groups of pit cycle strategies going on. That was interesting. Every time I pitted, I didn't expect the field to get that split up. But it was interesting, kind of running the back a little bit, seeing some of the guys going 3, 4 wide and not really making mistakes for positions that are, starting with the 2. So that was kind of cool to see, although I didn't want to see it too closely. So I just kind of hung back till we got strung out and tried to move around. The good thing is, with this setup, my driving style, it catered. I could run pretty much anywhere from the apron all the way up to the wall, no problem. And manipulate in the air and stuff like that. I really enjoy these 2-mile tracks like this. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for really fun racecraft on it. But with that said, there's a lot of people in here that have good racecraft that also have good skill. They spend a lot of time on the sim, and that makes it really fun. The car count was fantastic, but it's not just field fillers. Like, everyone in here is genuinely somebody that we want here. And that's one of the things that we really focused on in the off season. A lot of the people invested a lot of time in surveys and feedback and telling us what they wanted, which is why we raised the minimum requirements to get in here. So it's just been a really good elevation of a good nucleus that we had. Now we're able to kind of see that come through. And as we continue the season, I think the racing is just going to get better and better. We brought in outside race control from the Palms Late Model Stock League. Matt came over. He's fantastic with race control. He gives everyone the benefit of the doubt, but he won't hesitate to put his foot down when there's some nonsense. I think 90% of the incidents were genuinely a racing deal. We want to see side-by-side multi-groove racing, but we don't want to penalize people for doing that, especially when we have people that are capable of doing that. So it was cool to see that kind of come all the way through here tonight. The race was pretty fun. I was trying to kind of get back up towards the front there at the end. The last lap, I saw the opportunity. I got kind of pinned up against the wall on the outside there a little bit on the back straight. But, I mean, it's the last lap. People are going for the win. You got to kind of expect that. They can't just let me scoot through. I just blow by them on the high side. I get it. But no, it was pretty fun. It's nice to make it to the end of one of these. I'm just excited about the season, everybody that we have in here. And we've had a lot of people step up too. there's probably 10, 15 people that don't post as much as I do that contribute, whether it's they help sponsor something or they give feedback when's needed. And an important thing too is they're not hesitant to be like, "Hey, I saw something, I wasn't thrilled about it. I'd like to bring it to your attention so you can do better next time." All those little things help make SCL better. So I mean, we've got the biggest league on iRacing. Now we're trying to kind of take that and prune it and turn it into what I think is potentially, and Josh and Adam and everybody else agrees, could truly be the, one of the best accommodating hard racing series on iRacing. And we appreciate you guys broadcasting it. I do miss having you out here, but it is pretty cool. I can't wait to watch the broadcast and have somebody that actually knows our driver core pretty well. I'm sure that it's going to be entertaining. So we appreciate you guys coming out too. But no, it's just it's cool to see this kind of coming to fruition here.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. Well said, and you're right. As good as the action was from the drop of the green flag, it was one heck of a broadcast up here in the booth. There was literally racing all over the racetrack from start to finish, and that Mustang of yours was money, as you could make that car work just about anywhere you wanted. And I loved watching the veteran presence of you out there on the racetrack. When the Hornet's Nest started to form in front of you, you just watch you use that experience, back off, and just, hit your marks and come to the front when it was time. And you came up just a little bit short. Mike, before I cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 95?
Well, first off, thanks to everybody that comes out here and races. These races would be super lame if there was only 5 people here. So I love the car count. I love the fact that we have a good nucleus of fast people where the strength of field and the average I rating is, I think the average I rating is like 1,600 or something like that on the whole entire service. And then I think most of our people in here are 2,200 and up. So, I mean, we've got the upper echelon of skill set out here, which is fantastic. I hope we keep bringing that up, and I hope all the drivers continue to try to elevate themselves as well, myself included. But thanks everybody for coming out here and racing, because if we don't have cars, it's just lame. Let's be honest. But as far as like people that help me do motorsport stuff, I have a pro truck I race at Houston Motorsports Park. If you're in Houston, if you're near Houston, if you like NASCAR, if you're watching this, you like NASCAR, come out to Houston Motorsports Park. October 21st, I think, is the next race. I have a pro truck. I might take it out there, might not. Unlike iRacing, you don't get a fast repair, and when people do something interesting, it costs you about $20,000, which I do well. I don't do that good. But anyway, speaking of people that do help with that, though, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, they help out. They actually help fund SCL. They help out with my pro truck. If you haven't had them, best chicken fingers you can get, hands down, especially the drive-through. Fantastic. And then there's a company called Skills Driving based out of Dallas. If you have a company, if you work at a fleet, something like that, they give you crazy discounts on insurance. They'll do on-site drivers training. We work here in Houston at the Police Academy all the time doing drivers training for corporate, private security, all kinds of cool stuff. CJ Performance out of Pasadena, Texas, they do some cool hot rod stuff. They help me out with my truck. The Awesome Shop, which is my shop, is where we do all the setup stuff. And then we used to sell these sequential shifter handbrake combos. If you Google the Awesome Shop sequential shifter and you want one, send me a message. We're considering making another run of them. That's how I don't miss gears and get the wrong gear, unlike Adam Lowe and some other people. Yeah, and then the guys at RTR, I used to work with them, good friends of mine. I really like the 2024 RTR Mustang, which is, I think it's available now. They had it at Ford Fest. That's what we kind of have, the RTR grill lights and stuff on there too. So those are the people I like to give a shout out to on top of all my friends and my wife and everybody that watches us play video games here, because the broadcast is pretty fun and I appreciate them talking trash and making fun of me and sending me texts about how good my sound right now. So.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Peters fired up, and he should be. He's got it firing on all cylinders, on and off of the track. Leak is absolutely flexing some muscle right now, and you're seeing the fruits of his labor out here as this series put on one heck of a race from the Irish Hills of Michigan. Mike Peters comes home in that third place position. Next up in second with a heck of a strong run here tonight, Matthew McCain. Matt, up in the booth, you got me, bud?
Yes, sir. You have me?
Got you loud and clear. Man, talk to me about this race. It seemed like the second half of that run, your car just came to life, and once you're able to get the lead, I mean, you were a massive force to be reckoned with. I thought you had this thing in the bag, to be quite honest with you.
Didn't seem like that. Lap 1, big checkup, started 13th, big checkup, went in an infield. Second yellow, I was bouncing around. I had 8X already within 15 laps of the race, so I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. Just was patient and strategically moved up, and I was off sequence. I burnt my last set of tires with about 16 laps ago, so yeah, my tires are a little bit older than Barrett. Congratulations. And in that last 2 laps, I felt like I was being bounced around between Mike and Barrett, and I was just very fortunate to be as close as I could for the second place finish.
Well, Matt, we're on the same page because after that I was gonna ask you right about the start of this race because as you mentioned, through 2 cautions early, I mean, it was almost worst case scenario for you, and you really had to display some patience, some poise inside the race car, and you were able to execute and bring it to that front when it mattered. Talk to me about that battle on the last lap coming to the checkered flag because I mean, up here in the booth, it was spectacular.
Got a great restart. I liked the top, and I just drove it for for what it was worth. And I don't know, you didn't see my wheel, but I was sideways a couple of times, and really trying to keep the car stable. I didn't want to ruin anybody else's night because of me. So, and then we got into I got into the middle in between Mike and Barrett, and kind of bounced off each one. I thought they were going to squeeze me, but we managed.
No, you guys managed to put on an absolute clinic. Matt, before I cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 41?
Uh, I guess just me. Thank you for my family for supporting me in these late nights. And again, I appreciate the broadcast, and I appreciate SCL for having me.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. He said, me, myself, and I in the 41, getting it done in prime time is Matthew McKean Shides here at Michigan. Comes up just a little bit short in that second place position. He'll look to carry that momentum on into next week's competition, but we still have one person left to talk to. Our winner here from Michigan, Barrett Flo. Matt, up in the booth, you got me, bud.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Well, Barrett, you tell me, I mean, this race, it seemed like you guys hit the thrill switch from the drop of the green flag, and it was lights out from lap 1 all the way to the checkered flag. How were you able to survive and be alive at the end and capitalize when it counted?
It was just luck and the way the pit strategy worked out. We had kind of pitted on a cycle in between some guys and kind of led us there at the end. Have a little bit fresher tires there at the front. I think we probably had fresher tires than the top 4, and so it was an aggressive race, but it just worked out the way we wanted it.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes when luck is going your way you got to ride it and just and maximize and take everything it'll give you. Talk about these late race restarts. How much of a factor do you think it played in the outcome of the race? Do you think it could have went differently should it stayed green there, the last 20 laps or so?
Yeah, I mean, you saw different faces at the front. My nephew, he was up there for a little while and got caught up in somebody else's mess, and Maxwell and Justin. So it definitely could have been a different race and maybe a different outcome if it had stayed green. And I kind of like a long green run. I feel like a lot of the guys burn their right rear off a little bit at this track, but anyway, that's just how it worked out.
Yeah, you're right, and like you said, that's just how it worked out, and it worked out great for you as you were able to bring that 92 across the start-finish line in P1 for your first win of the season. Barrett, before I cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done?
Well, I gotta thank the Sunday Cup League. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of things that people don't know of what all it takes and money-wise it takes to run a league, and so Josh and Adam and all the people involved in that, and got to thank what I call my little teammates out there, Josh and Adam, and especially my nephew. We try to work together sometimes when it's drafting or holding a certain line. So got to thank all those people.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Barrett Flo comes home with the big win at the big house that Penske built from the Irish Hills of Michigan. That leaves one more thing left to do here tonight before we close this race into the history books, and let's go through the final results here tonight. We just heard from him, Barrett Flo. He's going to be your winner here tonight. Matty McCade comes home second. Mike Peters in third. That's your top three. Eric Schultz going to come home in fourth. Rounding out your top five, Lilith Peters, SCL's Rookie of the Year in the 1. 6 is Isaac F. Love. Mark Brown, Adam Lowe, Jeremy Flanagan, Trevor Dalton round out your top 10. 11th belongs to Ronnie Hurst. Jason Crumley resides in 12th. 13th belongs to Joshua Yarbrough. Coming home in 14th, Justin Lewis. Jonathan Casper running out your top 15. Klaus Williams, Michael Matta, Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. That's your top 18 as we cycle here through the finishing order. Brandon H. Hilton, Chris Hilton, Brendan Coyner, Todd Merkel, and Brandon Murray round out the top 23. 25th is Nicholas Caldwell. Josh Terhill in 26th. Ryan Farrell finds himself in 27th. Johnny LaFers comes home 28th. 29th, Austin Call. Matt M. Johnson comes home running out your top 30. Jacob Haskins, Michael McCaffrey, Raymond Kimmel round out the top 33 drivers that took the green flag here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for joining us here for some high-flying, intense racing action from the drop of the green flag as the SCL impressed tonight in prime time. But like all good things, including this broadcast, must come to an end. And as Tony Trapassa would say, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night, and we'll catch you next time, everybody.